actual Ash bans in the LEC, especially for Ice. That's been the kind of his go-to champion outside of Varus and Jhin as well.
There's your favorite champion.
Ballista, Draven, Twisted Fate, no surprises. So we're just going to take Smolder here. Ahri into the Talia. Can be a little bit dangerous with the E.
That's why I don't think Shio will play Talia jungle.
Wait, he can't.
The big
He's not going to play Talia jungle. That's not how BDS plays. BDS plays around skirmisher junglers. All right, Zeri, are they? Do they think they? Do they think they still have Crowny?
And now Braum, probably.
So they're opting into the scaling handshake, and Braum, very popular Nautilus counterpick. No Jace.
To camp the Talia a lot.
Good pairing. What other pairings do you have with Talia? Stuff like, I feel like, oh, Poppy.
I think I would still play Rel. Poppy looks pretty decent. Not the best against smaller Braum. But yeah, Poppy looks decent, I guess, to counter the league.
And top lane. Aatrox blind. Now Wukong is really, really good.
Poppy good into Ahri and Lee Sin because you can stop those dashes. So counter pick here, and will be Volibear top lane.
Yeah, wins every melee match.
Volibear now a pretty darn powerful flex pick. He gets very tanky in the top side, guys, and just his heal sustain is pretty crazy with Unending Despair and Fimbulwinter and Spirit Visage. Like, if he gets the 3 items, it becomes very, 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 very difficult to kill him.
Usually incredibly active, a similar story for Lee Sin, so let's see if it's an explosive early game for both sides as we get ready for BDS versus G2.
This mid jungle is going to be an absolute bloodbath if G2 have it the way they want to. I mean, every time you pick an Ahri, you want something that's going to be able to synergize well with it, get that damage off, and Lee Sin has kind of been the go-to even when we look back at last year as well.
Do you plan to do foreplay on more popular movies like Lord of the Rings or OG Star Wars? What do you mean? We have done popular movies. I don't know what you want. Like, what do you mean by popular movies? It's a Wonderful Life is maybe one of the most popular movies ever. We've done The Thing.
Make some funny shenanigans happen and see if maybe they can get a bit of an advantage here.
Like, Heat is very popular. I mean, sure is a cute little start here.
BDS immediately want to try and make some funny shenanigans happen and see if maybe they can get a bit of an advantage here.
Doesn't even have to flash for the hook. It's 5-band right here. Wait, did Sheo have to start E? Ooh. I mean, it's good to get the first blood onto Zeri, but starting E for Poppy is fucking brutal in terms of jungle clear.
Which means that he's going to struggle a little bit on his setup when it comes to... Oh, hey. When it comes to...
We're focused on the first blood. Sorry, we got distracted.
Yeah, but like, Poppy now going to struggle when it comes towards our clear. So if I'm Yike, there's opportunities now to try and punish that. To say, look, I'm going to have a bit of a faster get through my jungle. So see if I can get into some of these lanes a little bit faster. So I wouldn't be surprised if Shale try and start out on this.
This thing is still a niche movie? No, it's not. Whatever. Besides, we're gonna do we're doing Dune 2 on Nerd Legion this week, and we're gonna do Dune 1 as part of our Denis Villeneuve arc for the next 4 films. So it's pretty mainstream these days, I would say.
You owe me a little extra time, and they're not gonna give it to him.
The Ancient Dreamer, thanks for your Twitch Prime sub. Good morning to you as well.
Still gonna hit the level 2. You'll be fine here, Shale. You're gonna take the E on the level 2 anyway. So
he's not a Talia jungle guy. He isn't gonna pull you.
Yeah, I mean, he actually gets a leash here from the Nautilus anyway.
you owe me. Yeah, and you got the experience. You're gonna hit the level 2.
I could have taken Q.
And he does get some relief from jungle damage with the E-wall bang on the red buff, so it's not that big of a deal. He'll get level 2 off of this. And he uses smite. It's fine. Vera OM, thank you for your tier 1 subscription. I appreciate you.
At least I have a bit of a quicker start as he moves on through it. But I do think a lot of this is going to be like level 4, level 5, seeing if you can get Yike in towards mid lane, get Caps up and rolling, and just punish Nuke in the early stages. And obviously the desk was already kind of hitting on it. Having the fact that you've got Sheos, W, Nukes, E, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to try and play through that matchup.
Definitely is going to be tricky to navigate in this fight. We'll see what the setup is, as BDS, unsurprisingly, pretty comfortable, but aggressive.
Yeah, Poppy Talia very strong into Ari Lee Sin.
Smolder. He scales. He's chilling. He wants his stacks. He gets 225 of them. It feels like the game is over. It's not quite the Cassidon meme. Time's up. But without the hot fix, it's pretty damn close. So
It's not even halfway through day one and I'm already sick of Smolder.
Yeah.
It's like, look,
No,
I
I'm a
like
fan.
the way this champion's designed, but
Yeah.
the scaling is absurd. And once you do get those 225 stacks and beyond, it kind of gets disgusting. Like Aldea, our stats person, was saying, like, there's 22 pentakills from this Smolder pick already, and he's only just been enabled.
that's why I kind of love this bot lane matchup. It's like Zeri versus Smolder. It's like most likely to get a pentakill and most likely also not to get any credit because no one is impressed.
The crazy statistic: MDK has not won any Sunday all year.
You have to extract his KDA.
That's funny.
Smolder, and then look at the rest of us.
I feel like
Maybe they just go to mass like good Catholic Spaniards
to see who can design the 80 carry
on Sundays.
the most pentakills. Whoever designed Smolder is winning, so see if Zeri can make a comeback here.
Well, that's why she had to get buffed, right?
Yeah,
So then you can
for sure.
see
You gotta
Zeri
balance out.
versus
It's
Smolder.
really the pentakill battle. Maokai gets buffs for Freak. Zeri and Smolder get buffs for their respective designers. You know, I assume is how it works. Anyway, one thing we haven't talked about yet is this top lane matchup. Obviously, Aatrox, you're probably used to seeing. Volibear, I wouldn't say flavor of the month, got some pretty significant buffs, especially when it comes to that Q move speed as well. The Thought Charm going a bit wide. Sonic Wave will connect, but G2 just bringing in Yike to support that push out from Caps.
Yeah, I think we're going to see basically this continue to happen. 'Cause as you
Yeah,
said,
the Q did get buffs, but in the top lane you max W, you only max Q in jungle for Volibear. So because you want the heal sustain on the trades and to be able to heal up off of like canyon minions, I guess if you need it.
The whole idea is you get a ton of sustain off of your W and off of your shields, especially when you get into things like a Spirit Visage for this champion, and you just don't die. So BB going to be perfectly fine in this matchup, but it does mean your most explosive moment is going to be for G2 in that mid lane, and that's where all the action's going to be.
And just kind of what will eventually become the battle of effectively drain tanks on the top side.
Yeah,
exactly. The Aatrox and the Volibear, and you know when you're able to just build full tank, focus on some of that early armor, it can limit the impact of what we very much expect to be the more lethality focused Aatrox. So then we'll see if Adam has any adaptations of his own. That said, a relatively quiet early game. Quick Smolder stack check, 32 in 5 minutes, not bad. But yeah, name of the game, as we saw kind of in our first game with Vitality Team Heretics, is like you can do
Yeah, Smolder's been dumb in LCK, dude.
on the bottom side of the map.
Krethus, like he's been dumb everywhere. Smolder is the mortal enemy of the Kwangdong Freaks right now. Just lose every Smolder game they play.
And I think that's why we're looking at like the supports to see what they can do, and Labrov wants to see if he can get onto Caps.
Confident movement forward from Caps, knowing Yike is behind him. Mickey now on the way too. That's a man advantage. Charm going to connect. Excellent buffer coming in from LeBron. That could have been his life, but Sheo now coming in as well, knocking Mickey back. Not quite going to connect on the wall, and Breakable to block the follow-up. They're taking a sweet time. Bit of an awkward fight. BDS are now the ones with the man advantage. Again, the flick back not going to connect. Yike just barely able to make it out. He's stunned, but the follow-up is not there. G2 holding on. BDS had the man advantage, but can't quite finish the kills.
Nuke just missing that flick back was a disaster. That could have been the easy pickup, and then you start to move that over.
Not there as well, knocking Mickey back. Not quite going to connect on the wall, and Breakable to block the follow-up. They're taking a sweet time. Bit of an awkward fight. BDS are now the ones with the man.
Yeah, it's very awkward that he missed the W because of the Nautilus hook.
Holding on. BDS had the man advantage, but can't quite finish the kills.
Nuke just missing that flick back was a disaster. That could have been the easy pickup, and then you start to move that over towards like Void Grubs and stuff, but instead they're not quite able to get it. But Sheo,
Is Brahman okay pick here? He is a Nautilus lane counter pick.
Tempo advantage to the side of BDS. Doesn't mean the Dragon started for now. Will eventually get taken down.
He's very good at dealing with Nautilus hooks.
Sky Splitter to clear the wave. We're gonna watch a lot of bears and/or man bears proxy waves today, Rob.
it does feel like League is starting to turn into a little bit of like, oh, McDonald's farm. Because we've got like Zeri, who inevitably will bring Yumi the cat. We've now got a bear in it. We've also got a dragon in it. It just feels like this weird mythical farm that we're going to. Yeah.
Dragon. Yeah. I want a panda, G. Why don't we get Baby Dragon? Where's our Baby Panda champion? Everybody likes
Where's
Baby
Kung Fu
Pandas.
Panda?
Yeah, where's Kung Fu Panda? Why is it Jack Black in League of Legends? These are the questions that keep me up at night. That and
I'm actually surprised they haven't made an Uwu Panda champion for China.
here, but again,
Seems like very low-hanging Chinese fruit.
and we are pre-hot fix. That said, a dive would be a great way to do it. Hansama knock back at the wall. That's clean, and the flick back not gonna miss this time. Excellently coordinated dive by the side of BDS. The counterplay.
The Smolder meta is shit. It benefits defensive teams and playing slow. The games are very boring. I prefer a meta for teams that play fast and beautifully, like MDK. Like MDK. That's the analogy you're making. You could have picked like T1 or BLG or fucking Gen G, and you're like, I prefer the beautiful play of Mad Lions Koi. What? This is for you. That is an outrageous thing to say.
Yeah, I think it interrupts again, so at least Hansama will be able to get back into the spotlight.
By the way, the early game teams are still dominating in a lot of regions like LPL and LCK.
He will end up just responding with a turret play for himself. Maybe with the ultimate from BB, they can actually dive, so Adam has to be very careful here.
Adam, no ulti either. This, little bit greedy. Yike going for the setup, can't quite find the angle on the Sonic Wave. Creep Wave is there. Forcing the flash out, keep in mind. Landing one of those Q sweet spots once the Infernal Chains have already connected essentially guarantees the pullback, so Yike knowing he needs to flash.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Maybe they're trying to wait for Yike to hit level 6 off the creep wave. You can see he's very close to that, and maybe that was the place to even, when you look at the position of the E from Broken Blade, it was more towards trying to finish off, like,
You had me going there for a minute. You're like,
a bit of a weird one.
yes, truly. I love an excellent hamburger. Not like those McDonald's hamburgers, but Five Guys. It's like, you can dream bigger, dude.
Surprised to see
You
him
can,
going up for
you know, Five Guys is good, but we're allowed to have bigger dreams of great hamburgers than Five Guys. And we are certainly allowed to have better dreams of early game aggressive League of Legends play than fucking Mad Lions.
You really need access to your abilities, right?
I'm allowing you to think bigger.
Like, these abilities aren't cheap. Certainly cheap compared to a lot of mages, but you need that additional mana very often. But now checking in across the board for itemization, Kirchi's Shard, so unsurprising to see, you know, the static focus as it has been for Zeri just about everywhere. And of course the Essence Reaver for Smolder. Again, Hansama getting shut down a little bit early on is a big deal, slowing the Smolder scaling, something that BDS can try to capitalize on further.
It's also something we've started to see a little bit more, especially when you look across the LCS, is like, okay, first 3 grubs will give up, but suddenly at like 10 minutes we get a lot of fighting for those void grubs at the top side. So especially with Labrov and Ice having control over this bottom side, I think that's where we're going to see is Labrov starts to move now more push towards, hey, can we play around Ari in the mid lane, try and contest the next set of void grubs so G2 don't get the next, or to get those 6 stacks, and then you can always reset in time for something like a dragon if you really want to, but that's a bit of a tight window because there's only a 30-second difference at the moment between the two.
Pressure on the top side for BDS. We'll see if Adam wants to back here. He doesn't really have any coverage. But feels confident enough he can get it. Nuke, the charm going to connect this time. There's just no counterplay. Double flick back does not matter.
Nice job.
The kill there. Clean play coming in from Caps. You can see why. But feels confident enough he can get it. Nuke, the charm going to connect this time. There's just no counterplay.
Caps can hit charms. Palafox? No. Caps, yes. Also, Nuke.
But that's a bit of a tight window because there's only a 30-second difference at the moment.
He literally walks up on this, by the way. He walks up to harass with Q. His Sheo walks away from him, and then he just gets bopped. Also flicks them the wrong way. Also flicks them the wrong way.
Double flick back does not matter. Yike grabbing the kill there. Clean play coming in from Caps. You can see why they prioritize the Ahri regardless of who it's up against. Really excellent setup.
It's really hard to spot that as well because it was a lane gank. You don't really have any vision that's that deep into the enemy jungle. So nice setup from G2.
I think he went aggressive thinking that Sheo still had his back, but Sheo was wandering into topside jungle, so.
TP back in the mid lane as well. Working up towards that malignance. He's going to be in a great spot. So a lot of control coming off.
Real EU hours. I saved the LEC games until you Euros woke up. If that's not worth a subscription, I don't know what is, guys. I was conscientious of your time zone. I didn't do this while you were asleep.
Jungle, expecting to play into top, but honestly, Broken Blade has been left in isolation, and it's looked good so far outside of that one top lane play. That was a bit of a fumble from him and Yike.
Yeah, I mean, Volibear's just so strong at the moment. He's always been a bit of a lane bully, and the fact then he got a ton of buffs, including to like the move speed on his Q, which is kind of what got people interested in him again. Makes it so hard to.
You mean before we go to sleep? I see. You're just a degenerate.
Control up here. I mean, Yike can kind of do what he wants if he's in a position to start moving over towards even potential dives on top side once more. The last one didn't go so hot, so maybe they pull the brakes a little bit.
Just more money for Broken Blade. He's been proxying for half this game, it seems like.
It does matter. Of course, there's the Drake on the side of BDS, but all things considered, relatively even early game. The big thing is kind of AD scaling. I feel like if we're going to have a slower game where things are going to be closer overall, we're kind of just looking at the late game arms race of Smolder versus Zeri. Smolder certainly feels like the easier champion to get value out of.
And that's the thing. I think for BDS, it's, look, we talked about potentially going for Void Grubs, but I think they're more interested in Dragons going, hey, if we can fight third, fourth before Smolder gets to, you know, the 2-2-5 stacks at 25 minutes, that's fantastic. So let's try and see if we can move in that direction. But G2 with the quicker resets and off of that early kill for Caps having that quicker reset as well, they've just set up control now in River and making it difficult for BDS to move in. Like, this choke point is going to be miserable for BDS to try and come through.
They're matched 4v4, but G2 just have better positioning, better vision coverage at this point, so BDS has to be very careful about walking in.
Gilly said something about LEC getting a lot of money next year. Can we assume it's the Saudis? Well, they already tried to buy Astralis' slot, guys, and Riot denied them. But now that Riot's just totally cool with working with the Saudis and they're going to be part of the Esports World Cup, I don't see why they would deny future team sales. So probably.
Coming in new on the top side, Adam not committing the TP, doesn't have access to it. Instead, going to be focused on trying to knock down as many plates as possible. But really effective here. Knockback. Ice, shock laser over the wall. TP now coming in. G2 want to force the couple hundred gold just to try to contest. Not even really have access to the sure thing. Mickey stepping forward to body.
So Talia is not here. They're walking up even though they can't get an angle onto this Drake. They then get knocked up by Braum. Sheo has to flash out, and Volibear is literally just ghost sprinting at them after he TPs from the top side. So not sure why we are contesting this Drake if we're BDS. They are literally opting into what is effectively a 3v5 because Nook puts down a fucking terrible Talia wall. And Broken Blade still has Ghost, it turns out, and just walks over Nook, and he has ult, but doesn't even have to use it because he has a bazillion HP.
But he also can't miss. Yike clean with the play.
That was really cool from Yike. Could have gone very differently though for G2. At the start, it's like, okay, we're going to be able to set up nicely where we push BDS into that bot side. And then they bring in BB to try and make sure they're coming into play. Adam could have back away. Speed up though from BB.
Again, the stun instantly into the ult. The follow-up is there. Yike is living every Lee Sin's dream. All of his laners have great setup. He gets to point and click his Q just about every time.
Yeah, it's a BB.
Are we sure he's played Talia before? I mean, remember, Volibear is ghosting this entire time. If we just watch what happens, by the way. He gets punted out by Poppy ult, but Talia then goes into pit after that wall, so Volibear is literally just running at her, and Volley has 1 gazillion speed with Q, so he misses W, flashes, gets hit by Q1 and Q2 of Lee Sin, and dies.
That was really cool from Yike.
Adam not committing the TP, doesn't have access to it. Instead, going to be focused on trying to knock down as many plates as possible. But that bear does not care.
If we're being honest, guys, it is not necessary for Yike to flash here, because that Talia is 1,000% dead because Broken Blade has ult up. But it looked cool, so that's fun.
Yike clean with the play. That was really cool from Yike. Could have gone very differently though for G2. At the start, it's like
Him getting out in Drake Pit with his death sentence, yeah, I mean, the wall was also terrible.
And then they bring in BB to try and make sure they're coming into play. Adam could have back away. Speed up though from BB. Again, the stun.
And now he still has ult, so he just stun ults right on top of him. Can't actually finish the kill, though. Can't go into the turret. It's okay. Forces Adam's ult in return. And his flash.
The fact that you've managed now to chase BDS off of this bot side dragon and get the dragon and now you've managed to get some control on top side. Could have worked out well, but because BB ended up spending so much in trying to push Adam off, Shale managed to get the reset timer out. BDS are back out of the map, so won't be able to turn that into the Void Grubs, which I think could have been a nice moment for G2, but we're still contesting here.
And considering Mickey there as well. Maybe trying to go for a fast play here on Adam.
I mean, G2 shouldn't really care about these grubs.
Here, not great vision coverage from G2. Don't really have concrete information on where
Maybe they can get one.
backing, but in the fog of war, so G2 are still going to risk it anyway.
Just get one.
Forward, Caps. Ready to dash forward. Q flash forward from Mickey. That's the lock up there. LeBron again buffering on the hook. The kick back.
Nice kick.
Another dash coming in for Caps. LeBron likely to fall away. Confident enough to step forward. Caps. Ready to dash forward. Q flash forward from Mickey. That's the lock up there. LeBron again. Buffering on the hook. The kick back is clean.
Look how good that is, guys. Look at how good Yike plays this. So he has the Q onto Labrov, so he QWs mid-flight to get the angle onto Sheo to prevent him from popping. The blast cone. Oh, G2 is a very good team, guys. G2 is a very good team. Especially with how weak some of the like third, fourth teams have looked in LCK and LPL. Like you honestly have to believe that G2 might be like a top 8 team at this point. Like who else are you going to put up there? KT, D+, FPX, like do we really think they're better than G2? I don't think so. They are making some really clean plays.
Moving up the top side, they think they might have caught the recall here. On the bottom side of the map, though, G2 have to be a little bit careful. Mickey potentially caught out. Follow up from Talia Wall is available if they want to go for a play. LeBron waiting in the darkness will get spotted. Will be forced to walk back here as Ice trying to keep the pressure up mid lane.
So
that's what they said last year. Dude, I still hold by that last year.
Basically what you could have done was take Dragon and immediately with the way BDS were set up.
You have to remember, they actually did beat Weibo and D+ at Worlds. Were they clean games? Hell no. Did they win? Yes, they did.
Bear has been sent packing, but Sheo instantly going to get knocked up, and yeah, that's a very strong lease in. Early Eclipse going to make sure the damage is there. Sheo still running, though, still tanky. Nuke doing whatever he can to fire back, but it's not nearly enough, and here comes the Bear, baby. Wall coming out as well.
What the fuck? I mean, that's a nice play by Broken Blade. I love the thumbs up in the air as he dodges the W with his ultimate. It's beautiful.
I don't know if you've seen Cocaine Bear, but this is basically the plot in a nutshell. Broken Blade relentless.
Unstoppable in that one. He was not going to let them get away. I mean, the fact that Sheo tried to use his ultimate.
You can't be displaced during Volibear ult, even if you can get CC'd during it. Now that was a change that they made.
Not the dredge line, the knockup coming through from Mickey as well. That was just heartbreaking for Sheo. He did so many things just a second too late to be able to save himself. But nice job from G2 again, just finding picks on side lanes, making sure they're collapsing before BDS are already in a position on the map, and making BDS pay for it.
So Broken Blade already just uncontested on this tower. Nuke going to be forced to respond, but G2 already moving members to the top side of the map to contest the Herald to get control over that area. So Nuke going to be a little bit behind on the play if Broken Blade does reset and want to move up.
Well, that's the thing, is that as long as
Did T1 really deserve to win Worlds? Because it feels to me Gen G was supposed to win it. I mean, Gen G was supposed to win the last 2 Worlds. Arguably. I mean, JDG was the one who was supposed to win, if we're being honest. But out of Korea, yeah. T1 had a very good meta for them and played really well at Worlds. Gen G choked again. I mean, T1 played like the best team, hands down, at Worlds. I don't think there's not even really a question that T1 should have won Worlds.
Herald will drop in favor of G2. Nuke is able to push that wave in on the bottom side. Maybe can start to move up. It's 14 seconds till the Drake. Sheo and Ice waiting together, looking for some good damage on it. Mickey unbreakable there. He can just dash away. Buy a bit more time. Yike in the area too. Have to be careful. G2 backing off. BDS should just be able to break mid here if they want to commit. G2 potentially a little bit over eager here. Are going to end up losing mid lane tower. BDS, do they have enough of an advantage to transition this to Drake? It looks like the answer is yes.
Yeah, especially with the position Yikes in. Moved up towards that
HLE is not top 8. HLE is definitely a top 8 team. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to release my new power rankings this week, guys, but like, why wouldn't HLE be a top 8 team? Here are the teams, guys. Come on. You know what it is. Like what? Gen G, BLG, T1, top esports probably. I'll think more about this. So this is in my final list. JDG, HLE, right? I think that's relatively non-controversial, and probably G2 after that, and then like FPX. WE. I think that's not a crazy list.
Waiting till the angle is right, dashing in, not giving Adam any room to maneuver. Finally going to connect on that one. Yike moving in. Should just be an easy finish here. Adam trying to turn it back though, healing so much.
Unless you're a T1 fan, and then it's absolutely unreasonable that I don't put T1 as number 1, even though they just got mega shit on by Gen G.
That's the big win. But now, because you end up overextending that top side, G2, they're going to get the rip child, and more than likely, we'll be able to get a good amount of damage onto towards this top side turret. TP forced out to make sure that they're able to hold on to this. But you see Caps already.
Who you have higher, FPX or WE? I think you have to have FPX higher because they beat top, even though it was kind of a fraudulent win.
To try and make a play on towards mid or elsewhere.
But I think certainly WE is probably a more well-rounded team than FPX is.
Still able to hold control over the mid lane at this point in the game. Does get harder as Smolder gets obviously more stacks under his belt. Only 142 right now for Han Sama. Broken will be able to grab this tower. Should just back away after, but if he overcommits, BDS might be able to punish.
So I just noticed, I think BB forgot to buy tier.
Yeah, Dom says he rates WE higher than FPX. I think that is fair based on eye test, but based on results, like FPX probably deserves to be higher right now, even though some of their wins were kind of fraudulent.
There you go. Well, not quite Winter yet, but Winter's approach picked up for himself. So, and yeah, this is just going to be.
But if you ask me who I think would do better in LPL playoffs, I think the answer for me is WE.
And the Eclipse now picked up is very strong in finds the 1v1. But speaking of,
Caps gonna hit the charm. Unraveled Earth does not matter. The Caps is gonna keep dancing around him, but there's LeBron the flash.
Oh God.
He can get back. BDS are committing everything.
Caps just getting the kill in a 1 versus 5 in the end.
Huge shutdown for BDS.
Why is BDS all on the top side of the map though?
you're kind of happy as that as Caps, and you're going to get the mid lane turret. Yes, he traded for the top side, but mid turret is always more valuable in these kind of scenarios. And even then, going to be the resets coming through. Wasn't sure how heavily they want to try and commit down onto this bot side for linking up with BB, maybe looking for a tier 2. Would have been probably a little bit too late with where BDS are positioned on the map, but still, I mean, trading equally here for G2.
Yeah, 1 for 1. Feeling a little bit better for BDS because of the shutdown, but ultimately credit to Caps mechanically. Once he was in that situation, it took a lot of skill to actually finalize that kill and not leave Nuke with a blinking health bar, and Caps with a little bit of embarrassment. Of course, it is the Malignance. We talked about this. This is kind of the conventional Ahri.
What do you think was shown in that game is the real distance between T1 and Gen G? No, I don't. I don't think that if they replay that series that we get that one side of a matchup. I think that T1 not unreasonably thought that the way to win was by bullying Pays and Lehens in the bot side. And because Pays and Lehens, even though they've been better recently, have been, their laning has been kind of a weakness for Gen G. I think their first, like, blinding the Jace in the first draft was, like, I didn't like their draft in game number 1, but in game number 2, I thought I liked their draft quite a bit. You know, basically counterpicking the Twisted Fate with Tristana. You know, I think they had a lot of answers to, like, Kalista Ahri with Poppy Talia. So I thought it was good, but there were, you know, misplays in game number 2. And in game number 1, like, I mean, they just didn't win the lanes as hard as they thought they were going to. And that was a big problem.
The Mama Bear combo was too much.
A little bit of vision. Got back here from BDS, but you can see G2 slowly choking out BDS vision on the top side. It's going to make it so hard to make good decisions. Caps dashing in. The charm's still going to connect. Spike Shio's intervention. Caps goes in, and here comes Mom, baby.
The lineup for the Smolder ult is so good right here, actually.
BDS vision on the top side. It's going to make it so hard to make good decisions. Caps
What is Nuke's Talia is not good, guys.
Got back here from BDS, but you can see G2 slowly
like his E is down, so Ari just can like freely ult on top of him now. Like, look at this. Sheo flashes in order to get the stun, but the whole team is there, and they line up for Braum and Smolder ults, and the tower gets turned off.
Was too much for BDS. Tower gets shut off. The Dragon Fire comes in and absolutely rinses BDS underneath that turret. Now you can dashing in to allow Caps to punish in the 1v1.
But I also just don't know why BDS is playing so aggressively forward when Zeri isn't there. It's a nice TP from the Volibear too. Nah, it's just free Baron. More Smolder stacks for funsies. All right, that's a huge play from Nuke, though. The TP into the WE. All right, bit of a fiesta. Bit of a fiesta. Not respecting Nuke's respawn is pretty bad. By the way, guys, they also don't have to turn right here. Just to be very clear, they do not have to turn. Sheo was dead. They can actually just finish, and they certainly do not have to pursue into a choke point. Like, you can turn back right now and just go back to Baron. Or you can just go to Drake that's spawning in 30 seconds. But you do not have to turn that far and pursue that far. You can absolutely just bully them off the Baron. That's a wild call, guys. I mean, Caps is coming back. They can just run interference with Broken Blade and Caps and have Yikes and Hansama continue to DPS Baron. Yeah, G2 is known for a bit of happy gaming, though. It just makes the games more interesting.
You've got a nice cover here. Sheo's only coming from the face. You're waiting on this TP, so BDS are trying to kite back. And yes, you get the kills, but the second you all group up on the side, that flick from Nuke, 3 key members of TP, so BDS are trying to kite back. And yes, you get the kills, but the second you all group up.
Also, Hansama walks into that and doesn't flash it. To be very clear, Hansama has flash and literally walks into the W. That's what he did.
Certainly is. But from a G2 perspective, you highlighted already, they knew Sheo's gone. He's not a part of the equation. They can just force the Baron down. They don't have to take the fight. Of course, a little bit riskier when you don't have clean access, but over-eager perhaps to just play for those kills to get even more. And now, we're looking at a pretty small gold deficit. Yes, again, Smolder continues to scale, but Zeri is also a laking terror. 3 items for Ice. And this is now
Yeah, they weren't keeping track of Talia TP timer.
Look, their team fighting is exceptional, but when it comes to map play and how they use
on respawn.
Hasn't been the greatest. So now G2 already in a position where they're just going to look to try and trade against BDS because they weren't back out on the map faster. So
In hindsight, it's probably better to keep the flash. The fight is already lost. Well, Smolder would be 100% HP, so is the fight already lost would be the question. And secondly, they probably can't do Baron if Smolder's alive, but he doesn't have 225 stacks yet, so maybe I'm wrong. Whatever, it made this game exciting. Now it's a comeback game for G2. They're down in gold.
They already conceded both tier 2s. Hard for BDS to get a lot more than that. Should be fine to just walk up and clear this, however. Karma can't connecting. Inside of the laning phase. Caps has been incredibly precise there, but the tower's still standing. So G2 drawing some attention at least to the bottom side of the map, leveraging Caps' ultimate, delaying some of the impact of the Baron. But 2 tier 2s already down, not bad for a first Baron of the game.
Ooh, Nuke trying to pick off Caps there, but I think it's a little bit over-eager. At this stage, I think you just want to try and catch mid-wave, push that out, and then commit everyone to this bottom side of the map to get this last remaining outer turret there for BDS. But without that mid-wave, you can see this is going to be a little bit disjointed, right? So Zeri now is clearing mid as this wave is starting to approach this bot side turret. So I don't see... There's a one ward in the Dragon Pit that maybe BB can try and teleport to get a flank opportunity. I'm curious if that's what they're going to try and look for here, but Hansama going to move across the mid to try and pick up, and there's the TP instead, just the turret to try and defend this.
A bit more time. Again, Hansama incredibly close to the 225 stack breakpoint. That's where you start with the execute. Just hit Cap taking a bit of a chunk here. Unbreakable from mid.
I mean, he's going to get the 225 off of the siege, guys, just by spamming abilities. He literally has 3 away. Okay, he has it now. He has it. That's when the engage goes down, guys. They're communicating this right now. He's like, oh, I'm so close. I'm so close. I'm coming. I'm coming. And here we go. Ghost in. Okay, they're all dead now. Whoops. Maybe we went a little bit too far.
Even an hotfix flat won't finish that one off.
TP's in, but he's got to disappear immediately. A little bit of miscommunication by BDS, but botlane tower remains standing. So for G2, get some kills. You managed to hold on to that botlane tower, which is a big win. But still, like, it's a lot of gold going over into BDS's pockets, right? Because you get top, you got mid as well. So where you're trying to...
All right, here's the G2 comeback, guys, surely.
The tower, and there's a lot of safety for Smolder. It becomes very difficult for Ice to really threaten the backline. You can see it here, right? Now, Ice is trying to hit onto people, but he's very short range. There's little opportunities for him to really maneuver in to get the damage down. Whereas when you look at the backline, with the Achu there, you actually hit the 225 stacks, I know, for Hansama. So you actually end up with getting this burn across, which is, in the end of the day, what finishes off Labrov. And it just makes it very, very difficult for BDS to try and press forward, which is why
I love the R forward directly into death.
Some of this extra static damage that you get off of the ultimates of maybe pick off members, but just doesn't quite enough in the tank.
I would say displeasure on the face of the coaches there. It was hard to say exactly what that was. So Smolder's online. He's a real dragon now. So we can stop talking about that. Because by the end of the day, you'll wonder what we've said more over our broadcast lifetimes, Legacy Dynasty Kings, or Smolder needs 225 stacks.
Yeah, it's just 225. Yeah.
So he's there. We can stop now. Don't worry. He's very strong. Ulti very strong.
Been missing me in Overwatch. Glad to see you're doing well in League. I'm doing well in general. Go subscribe to, if you miss me and Doa in Overwatch, go subscribe to the Culture channel for Last Free Nation and watch our show, Nerd Legion. We're talking about Dune 2 this week. And on my show, on our other film show, we're talking about Denis Villeneuve movies for our next arc. After we finish Heist. So there you go. Watch non-esports content by us. Shocking, I know. So if you're not into LOL, maybe you're into... Maybe you're into Dune.
In these corridors, they'll work particularly well. Whereas when you're BDS, I think having multiple opportunities where if you can fight in River, because you open up space for Ice, you open up space for Nuke to try and put out members, and even for Shale to cut across members of G2 and keep them out of the fight, either with the ultimate or zone.
Was it Sneakers or Dog Day Afternoon next for Foreplay? It is Dog Day Afternoon. That is releasing in 6 hours. Dog Day Afternoon. And then Sneakers will be later this week. And then we are going to do Villeneuve's Arrival for next week, which is an absolute mega banger of a movie. So.
But G2 don't want to get over eager. Try to punish.
Yeah, I think their biggest worry is that G2 might just try and rush the Baron as they're getting position on towards the spot side. May even be the case here, to be perfectly honest. So just getting some vision down to spot it if G2 are going
the real OGs want the occult content. Well, Thorn and I could absolutely deliver on an occult sub-channel, but I have a feeling you guys would not listen to it. So.
Just not quite enough to be like, okay, we're comfortable going for this. So BDS at the moment, taking control here, and Labrov going to be able to clear out some of this vision. Zeri and Nuke are in base, so you do have to be a little bit careful here, Labrov.
Yep, there it is. Sonic Wave right into the charm. G2 find the angle.
Lol. Wow, Caster set that up well.
We're going for this. So BDS the moment taking control here.
So he knows they're all there because let's.
Clear out some of this vision.
Oh no, it's not a pink ward. I thought it was a pink ward. He actually does not see them because it is a regular ward that is right there.
We're going for this. So
I thought it was a pink ward on top of a pink ward, but it is a normal ward.
Labrov,
So he does not know that they're there.
Zeri and Nuke are in base, so you do have to be a little bit careful here, Labrov.
And they wait until they know he's very much alone. It's a nice pick. It's a nice call. Very nice call by G2. Good setup from G2.
On the map and still felt comfortable to walk in a pocket of war. It's the old Schrodinger's G2 problem.
Caps hovering off the wings. Wants to see if he can get the flank here. Spotted by Adam though with a nice ward. So Caps just going to back away instead into the rest of the team. But this is where Ice and Nuke, they need to have a hero moment. Nuke in particular had that big fight. Can he make it happen again?
We have to be so careful about grouping. G2 see an opportunity. Unbreakable now coming out. There's the bomb called in. Adam on the backside. The charm not going to connect. Adam now trying to get out to safety. He's zoned off here. So BDS have gotten the space that they wanted, but keep your eyes on Caps. He's fishing for the flank.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, okay, we're comfortable going for this. So
There,
BDS the moment.
TN Minervini.
Down the
It was a little bit of a bait here
try and burst it, but just not quite enough.
by G2.
We're going for this.
So you can see Mickey X is in his recall, and he places the pink ward, which makes him think, Labrov think that Mickey had recalled.
Taking control.
So it was a mind game by Mickey X right there. It's a very smart play by G2.
Nuke are in base, so you do have to be a little like, okay, we're coming because the way the waves were positioned aren't really able to get.
So yeah, let's take a look at this mind game here from G2.
Damage that can try and burst it, but just not quite enough to be like, okay.
They're playing with vision. Mickey X is recalling it. At the very end of his recall, he cancels after placing the pink ward. So Labrov thinks that he's gone away. Meanwhile, G2 is just going to be incredibly cautious until they know that Labrov is alone. And they catch him autoing the ward with 4, and they TP the Volibear there just to make double sure. It is an excellent mind game and excellent pick play by G2.
On the map and still felt comfortable to walk in a pocket of war. It's the old Schrodinger's G2 problem.
G2 is a very good team, guys.
Caps hovering off the wings.
G2 is a very good team.
By Adam though with a nice ward. So Caps just going to back away instead into the rest of the team. But this is where Ice and Nuke, they need to have a hero moment. Nuke in particular had that big fight. Can he make it happen again?
We have to be so careful about grouping. G2 see an opportunity. Unbreakable now coming out. There's the bomb called in. Adam on the backside. The charm not going to connect. Adam now trying to get out to safety. He's zoned off here. So BDS have gotten the space that they wanted, but keep your eyes on Caps. He's fishing for the flank. Unraveled Earth already laid down. Yeah, continuing to step up. A bit scattered. Caps in the midst of the wave right now. Another charm.
They're just squeezing him.
Thus far, just pulling back, retreating, trying to leverage the power of that Talia.
Fishing for the charm. They get it. Huge damage on Sheo.
Yike not going to follow. Labrov off to the side. Has to be careful.
Super careful from G2. Labrov back up now, but the damage has kind of been done at this point in time. They can turn back on to the Baron. Very nice by G2.
You've got double TP coming for Adam and for Nuke, so they're going to reset and try and
This game did not have to be this close, guys. But G2 is playing out this scenario very well.
Slow down the pace. Maybe they can get in, but here it comes.
Low. This is dangerous. Caps off to the side. Not in the best flank position. Labrov going to try and spot him out. 4K getting lower and lower. Nuke laying down the wall. It's a little bit of setup, but the ejector should just go to the side of G2. Can they do it? No, Yike securing it. Nuke untouched.
All right, well, it turned into a bit of a scary Baron 50-50, but now they're playing into this Smolder, who's all stacked up, and this should be surely the end of the game. Beautiful by Caps. Caps has really been in fine form since the end of winter and through winter playoffs and now.
Everyone's going to back away. Baron for G2, the fight for G2 and the minions taking that bot lane tower as well. G2 find their moment to bring this game back in their favor.
It was such a close fight overall. So many moments of tension there. Ice barely taken down. full confidence to secure the Baron there.
But this is where it got a little bit risky, right? Because good wall from Nuke to actually keep G2 in the pit, which opens up Ice to go hyper aggressive. But BD gives his dying breath to get onto Ice, force the flash back, and keeps him out of the fight. And at this entire time, Hansama has actually been bought space thanks to Mickey in that back line, and not having that pressure from Nuke because there's just so many bodies in the way makes it very difficult for him to follow up. Yike as well, the two-man kick means that there's just not quite enough damage there from Ice to follow through as the rest of G2 deal with the rest of the remaining front line for BDS.
Great play. Blast cone. Right into flash charm. It's pretty hype.
I mean, really the icing on the cake. Ultimately, you get the Baron and you're able to secure that final KO. What? Don't look at me.
Icing on the cake?
Okay, all right.
Yeah, the icing on the cake right as they show Ice was pretty funny.
Anyway,
It was pretty funny.
more ice
It was a visual gag.
can be enough for BDS to swing things
Accidental,
in their favor.
but was funny that right as he said icing on the cake, they showed Ice.
Fair to respond to.
It's just, from this point, it's difficult. G2 kind of have to run of the mill. I'm surprised they're only playing off of the one wave state at the moment, though. I did think you'd see Caps move up towards that top side, try and push out that top wave and just create a bit more opportunity in the map, because at the moment, BDS don't really feel threatened to move outside.
Think Saudi Money can build a team to challenge G2?
I still think you can
Where are they getting these players from?
Ward spots him. Big boulder starting to space.
I guess they can move some really good Asian players over to Europe, maybe?
Faking the challenge there, Braum making it so difficult for him to really find access.
But you can only have the 2 imports.
G2 just gonna bully their way
And, you know, we've seen other teams like Vitality
so incredible.
and Excel try to make LEC super teams and just completely, you know, fall on their face. So,
Look to push out that top lane. Looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Nuke immediately going to disappear up onto that top end, just try and alleviate some of the pressure.
And it just feels like G2 recognizing that Soul is probably one of the ways that BDS can come back into a game that's this close. So not over prioritizing pushing down lanes where they might not even be able to break open the base.
Randwins, he's not going to matter as much. You're also getting the stack a ton as well. So this
Have
is
we
where Hans
mentioned
is doing massive.
infinite scaling? We said 225, but have we said the word infinite scaling yet? You can cross that off
From
on
the
your...
creators of Seta,
Yeah.
we bring.
Have you ever wanted to play Vigar or Nasus, but like on a champion who was good? Smolder. It's there for you. It's right there. Although hotfix now, so it won't be nearly this strong in your solo queue games. They'll be baited into a false sense of security.
But still play at least.
He's still very stressful. Very, very good. All right. Resets. The map is quiet. 4 minutes till Chemtech. 2 minutes till Baron. Clear out some camps to get a bit of extra gold. Turn of League of Legends.
you know, if they had just done the first Baron and not just ran into the teleporting Talia, this would be a very different game, and it wouldn't be so, we wouldn't have to clench our cheeks so hard for G2. But you know, cheek clenching is just the G2 experience in a nutshell.
Therefore, Adam, he maybe has a chance of causing disruptions, but there's just so much protection from Mickey. It's so hard for him to actually
Also,
play in on Hansa.
The Smolder execute against a champion who wants to kind of be this sustained monster is infuriating. Just effectively having access to about 10% less of your total life pool before you just get, you know, deleted makes it so much more difficult, so much more tricky to play these fights. And we've got Seekers now coming in for Hansama. That is the old stopwatch active, for those of you who somehow missed the update at this point, as well as Zanya. So a lot of, I think, luxury purchases coming in for G2 as well, because when you look at Randwood's defensive item, it's all right, but it is not a stopwatch in terms of the raw power it can provide in a fight. Mickey, though, knock up there, Unbreakable again buying a bit more space. Broken Blade isolated on the backside. Sky Splitter doing good damage, and a bit more poke onto Sheo. Mickey now following, knock up, Mom making her way into the fight, not really going to connect anyone. Sheo fishing for the knockback. Is going to take one at least out of the fight. Yike pushed away briefly, but BDS losing a lot of their health just to walk into their own jungle.
They're trying desperately to do anything, but G2, as we said, have already established in those corridors are perfect for what
All right, here we go.
with this competition. So
Baron number 2. Let's do it. I'll watch the turn.
Dragon, sorry, Baron may even be gone already.
Caps off to the side, looking for flank onto Nuke.
Caps just flanking Nuke, Broken Blade just stunning him right away, and he's dead. And he's dead.
And Hansama, the knockup's there, but there's absolutely no fall. The Smolder just gets to keep doing whatever the hell he pleases.
And Smolder kills everybody. And Lee Sin. And they're all dead. Penta? Penta? Definite Penta. Definite Penta. There it is.
Mom, are you watching? It's Hansama popping off Smolder pentakill for the G2 bot lane. What a way for Smolder to enter into the LEC.
Yeah, you heard of Mom Spaghetti, but that's Mom is too damn Betty. Smolder doing Smolder things. Just spitting on him, sneezing on him. G2 reminding us why the pick is so incredibly powerful. A well-played game. G2 finding their first win of the spring split.
G2 finding success on the Smolder. I mean, look, let's be real. Yes, the pentakill came in at the end of the day